Hi, I'm Steve Casely from CPT Nuggets, and welcome to this nugget on the PMI ACP Agile Certified Practitioner Certification Overview. Welcome to this new CPT Nugget series on the PMI, the Project Management Institute, ACP, Agile Certified Practitioner Certification. The PMI ACP is a relatively new certification from PMI, available for the first time in 2012, and is an absolute, at least in my humble opinion, significant step forward from PMI, recognizing that there is more to successful project delivery, especially in an IT environment, than the traditional project management approaches as defined in the PMI PMBOK guide. But we're not here to talk about the PMBOK guide. We're here to talk about the ACP, the Agile Certified Practitioner. And in this overview nugget, we're going to talk about what PMI is and why the PMI certification for Agile is a very important certification. We'll talk about what the Agile certification process itself is, the Agile Certified Practitioner, and again, why the Agile Certified Practitioner certification is important to you as a project manager, and why it's becoming more important to organizations worldwide. And finally, to wrap out this overview to the ACP, we will give you an overview of what Agile is, why Agile is important, and what we need to do as project managers to be ready to deliver in the Agile world. And our first step down that path is a quick overview of what PMI is. The fact that you are taking this nugget on the PMI ACP, I would expect you probably have an understanding of who or what PMI is. But just in case, PMI is the Project Management Institute. It is the largest international non-for-profit organization focused exclusively on the definition of and the betterment of project management best practices. Their website is www.pmi.org. And if you go to pmi.org, you'll see anything and everything related to project management. Again, I want to focus on PMI as a not-for-profit organization, so no one is profiting directly from you becoming a PMI member, or no one is profiting from you becoming an ACP, Certified Agile Practitioner, except for yourself. PMI is there to better PMI principles and there to help us as project managers better ourselves in project management. Traditionally, PMI has offered a large number of certifications. The most common of all of the PMI certifications is the PMP, the Project Management Professional. And as I said in the overview, the PMP is based on a novel, a book called the PMBOK, the Project Management Body of Knowledge. And I would describe the PMBOK as traditional project delivery, where we do initiating, we do significant upfront planning, then we go into project delivery and we execute and we monitor and close, and then we follow that process throughout our project. There is certification for larger level program management, that's the PGMP, and there is an entry level certification called the CAPM, all focused on the PMBOK traditional project management. Then they expanded a little bit, still based on traditional, and they said we're going to go into RMP, which is the risk management practitioner, and the SMP, which is the schedule management practitioner. But again, all of these are all focused on the traditional approaches to project management. And over the years, PMI established a very, very fine track record of absolutely being that international, most recognized organization focused on traditional project management. Over the last few years, PMI has come to the realization that says, while we are and I'm going to say the best, and I don't think there are many people who would argue with this definition, the best in traditional project management. There is this growing trend in project management called Agile Certified Practitioner, that if we're going to continue to be leading edge in project management, we need to understand and we need to embrace this thing called Agile. So again, several years ago, PMI pulled together a group of experts, and these were true experts in Agile delivery, and said, we're interested in expanding our horizons and becoming recognized as not just a traditional project management certification agency, but also an Agile project management certification agency. Can you help us put together the process to do that? And this Nugget series on the ACP is the result of that. It is a certification process designed to validate our experience, our abilities, our competence in delivering projects in the Agile way. Which leads us to the definition of what is ACP. As already defined, ACP is the Agile Certified Practitioner Certification Validation from PMI. PMI defines the ACP as achieving 4 objectives. First is, most important, at least in my humble opinion, that by taking and passing your ACP, you're demonstrating your professionalism in Agile project management. And that is a key distinction I want to put on this, is the ACP is focused on managing the delivery of the project in an Agile fashion. And as we get into this Nugget series and learn more about Agile delivery, Agile is both a development method as well as a project management method. And in order to be an ACP, we need to understand how to combine how Agile methods and delivery and project management appropriate to Agile methods and delivery come together. And a principle called Scrum comes to mind as probably the epitome, at least in my humble opinion, the epitome of the amalgamation of project delivery principles with an Agile method. And I deliberately use the word project management principles in relationship to Scrum as opposed to project management, simply because that is the distinction that Scrum very, very hard works towards. Is Scrum doesn't like to use the word management. Scrum actually uses the word Scrum Master as opposed to Scrum Manager. But Scrum is the epitome, or Scrum is certainly a very good example of how to combine Agile development methods while still providing the oversight and support to ensure that we're delivering the project successfully. So number 1, if you take and pass your ACP, you're going to absolutely demonstrate your professionalism in managing projects the Agile way, of which, as I said, Scrum is one of the methods, but we'll explore other methods for ensuring that our Agile delivery projects are being appropriately managed. Assuming that you're picking up the ACP partway into your career, the purpose of the ACP is also for you to be able to demonstrate your versatility in project management. Not only am I a traditional PMBOK type project manager able to deliver projects traditionally, I also am able to deliver projects using Agile methods, so we're absolutely demonstrating that we have agility, versatility in project management approaches. And to me, the important aspect of that definition is we're able to define, we're able to select, we're able to use the most appropriate project delivery method for each and every engagement that we're working on. And as an employer, understanding that versatility is going to be key. To me, if you go to an employer and say, I have traditional project management experience, whether it's with a CAPM certification or a PMP certification, and I also have the ACP validation, you're truly showing the boss, your potential future employer, that this is a person to be reckoned with. This is the kind of person I want in my organization leading my delivery. By testing your knowledge in Agile delivery methods, we're absolutely able to demonstrate our ability to lead Agile teams, because understanding the principles that the ACP is going to test us on, we are proving that we have the ability. And because there is a lot of disconnect, lack of continuity in the Agile world, as I said, Scrum is one Agile method. Extreme is an Agile method. Crystal is an Agile method. Rational process is an Agile method. DSDM is an Agile method, and so on and so on and so on. PMI have recognized that there are many different Agile camps out there. What PMI has attempted to do with this ACP is to provide a framework for amalgamating, for selecting the best of the Scrums, the Extremes, the Kanbans, the Crystals, the RUPs of the world, and selecting and defining what is deemed to be a best of breed approach, and providing that framework through the ACP for putting together Agile training programs. And that is what this Nugget series is focused on. It is focused on the framework as defined by PMI for the ACP, but in that nature, it is a framework for generic Agile training. So what really is Agile? As I said, Agile is Scrum. Agile is, in the generic sense, Agile. Agile is XP, Extreme Programming. Agile is Crystal. Agile is DSDM. Agile is Kanban. Agile is ... There are many different camps, experts defining Agile delivery processes, but Agile, to me, is the loose definition of iterative development processes. So whether you're talking Scrum, XP, Agile, Crystal, DSDM, etc., they're all defining an iterative development process. We will develop the product in a number, and the number may be large, 20 plus ... separate, independent, iterative cycles. So in our first cycle of an iterative development project, we deliver very limited front-end functionality. But the key is each independent iterative cycle delivers some final deliverable, executable value to the business. And that's cycle number one. Maybe we put together the menuing system and the front level customer entry screen. In iteration number 2, we provide rudimentary features for order processing. In iterative cycle number 3, we provide preliminary rudimentary features for doing order processing, and so on and so on. But we take the large requirements and we define it in chunks, where each chunk is an iteration and each iteration is independently delivered. And why is this so important? Because it allows us to achieve all of the above. It allows us to reduce the number of defects because we're delivering small, defined functionality. In this cycle, in this iteration, all we're delivering is the front-end menu system and the preliminary customer entry screen. if we work with the business and we define what their front-end menuing systems and their preliminary rudimentary customer entry requirements are, we deliver that. So by delivering these small defined incremental pieces of functionality, we are delivering defined code, and therefore the chances of missing requirements is much less. And as a result of delivering less defects, it absolutely increases the productivity of the team because the team is doing the right things and only the right things, which improves delivery performance. So, there's a lot of reasons why organizations are moving towards Agile today. There are statistics that say as many as 80% of all organizations worldwide doing IT development are exploring, are interested in, are moving towards, are considering a move towards Agile because it provides all of these productivity improvements. And let's face it, IT development is not known for being the best managed, best organized, best delivery record in the world. As per the Standish report, we're still having over 50% failure in our IT delivery projects. So if Agile has a way to decrease our defects, improve our productivity, improve our delivery performance by putting together these iterative development approaches, working directly with the business to deliver exactly what we want, let's give it a try. And by becoming an ACP, an Agile Certified Practitioner, you're able to prove to your boss or your future employer that I understand these best of practices. Doesn't matter whether your organization is delivering Scrum, Agile, XP, Crystal, etc., etc. I understand these delivery processes, and I am prepared to be a high-performing individual in your organization. And as proof that the ACP is truly the consolidation of the best practices of Agile delivery, PMI themselves have put together this list of publications that candidates may find helpful when preparing for their exam, and that PMI have used when they put together the exam questions themselves. So, fairly comprehensive list. You can read probably better than I can read to you, but here's a list of reference materials that PMI have referenced when they're putting together the questions for the PMI ACP exam, and therefore recommend that people preparing for the exam review and become familiar with all of the material in all of these textbooks. Now, the good news is we have put that together for you. We have reviewed the PMI exam outline, and we have developed this certification preparation nugget series that follows the PMI outline that will present the Agile best practices that are consistent with the PMI course outline and is consistent with the materials provided by these various industry experts in Agile delivery methods. So again, I guess your options are read all of these books and become Agile literate, or take the certification series, which will present Agile delivery methods consistent with the PMI ACP exam outline, and will present to you Agile development best practices. This concludes our overview of the PMI ACP Agile Certified Practitioner examination from PMI. PMI is the Project Management Institute, the world's largest, most respected non-for-profit, and again I'll re-stress that it's non-for-profit. They are not promoting the certification for their own personal financial benefit. They are promoting the certification to ensure that there is a certification agency out there that represents industry best practices in Agile project management and delivery techniques, and making that certification available to us in the form of the ACP, the Agile Certified Practitioner. The ACP is based on Agile development best practices within the industry. So whether we're talking Scrum, whether we're talking traditional generic Agile, whether we're talking XP, whether we're talking Crystal, whether we're talking any of a number of other Agile development approaches, it is consolidated in and it's validated through the ACP. And to me, that's one of the beauties of getting your PMI ACP is it's not based on a single. It doesn't say, I am a certified Scrum Master. It's a wonderful certification to get, but it is a certification that says, I am trained in, I am an expert in the Scrum processes, and I may be an expert in only the Scrum process. Or that you have certification in extreme programming principles, or that you are Crystal certified. By getting individual certification, and I'm not trying to belittle any of these certifications because they're all wonderful certifications, but they're one of specific circumstances certifications around one commercial method, where PMI is an amalgamation of industry best practices in an agile principle, and therefore provides this universal accreditation, validation of your knowledge in agile development principles. This concludes our nugget on the PMI ACP Agile Certified Practitioner Overview. I hope this module has been informative for you, and thank you very much for viewing.